What's up, YouTube? This is Umbral Yokai coming at you with the beta build that I used for the open beta. I did run Hatchet and Bow, just like I said I would in my pre-open beta update video, if you hadn't seen that on YouTube. So I just kind of wanted to go through what I chose for weapons and armor set and why, just kind of give like a build. It's hard to say because you're not at max level and you're not using best in slot gear, but this might give you a good direction when the game releases, so I figured I'd post a short video on it, kind of what I did. And I think this could really be implemented for any kind of build too. So what I did was I went medium armor. I do have one piece of heavy armor because that's what I needed, was strength and a little bit more constitution. We'll get to that in a second. But I went medium armor. So when you hit level 15, what I did is I bought items off of the auction house. Now, that probably wouldn't be what I would recommend in release. It's just kind of, I wanted good armor right now to make PvP easier, get the weapons, blah 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 blah, right? So what I did is I just used whatever I found on the ground until I hit level 15. And then when I hit level 15, I bought a whole set of armor, not these ones, but I bought the cheapest armor I could that was decent with the stats I wanted. Then I bought a hatchet and a bow. Then I went and got a bunch of food and a bunch of weak potions, and then for my arrows, I made a bunch of iron arrows, and then I made a bunch of flint arrows. And then I used the flint arrows when I'm not in PvP, and I used the iron ones only when I was in PvP. That's pretty much what I did. I tried to get my iron tools right away. Nothing too crazy. I did go and I bought this as well, the jewelry piece for the plus 8% strength. I wasn't worried about the slash damage absorption, but, you know, that's a plus 2. So to get to what I went for on the build, since the hatchet goes off of strength and dexterity, and then the bow is just dexterity, what I was going for is just strength and dexterity, and everything else would fall in line with itself. And this is just, again, low level. So you look at my helmet that I got from the faction gear, I actually think I got this as a drop. 9 strength, dexterity and constitution. I got the dexterity I wanted, and it came with constitution. Good. Got strength and constitution. Got one stat I wanted, got constitution, that's great. Strength and constitution again. Dexterity and constitution. So I was bringing my health and the primary scaling attribute up for both my bow and the primary and secondary for the hatchet, all at the same time, just with the armor. I'll get to why I used medium armor here in a second. Then with the hatchet, I got one with 12 strength, and I got a bow with 12 dexterity. So its primary stat is what I wanted to be rolled on. Now, you talk about the attributes. What I ended up getting to was 70. This point right here is the biggest piece of that though. You get the 5% more damage with your light attacks with the hatchet, which I was primarily just using light attacks. I think I maybe used a heavy attack in PvP twice. Obviously if I could get this up to 50, so bring this down to 60 and get this to 50, probably would have been a little nicer. I don't think you would have noticed too much of a damage fall off right here by changing those points. So like you could respec, go like this, right? So I could just go to 50 and take this to 50, right? And then put the other points in. You see, I only went 6 lower, 4 lower, something like that. But now my bow damage went up. You know, so I changed that So now my bow's going to do more, but my hatchet does just a little bit less. But I get the 5% crit chance and then the skinning speed if that's something you're worried about, you know? I'm not worried about intelligence or focus because they're not weapons I'm using at all, you know? If you were going to be doing something like let's say you used something that infused it with fire, let's say. Intelligence would scale the fire damage. So then you would want intelligence, but we're just going raw damage. We aren't changing any of our damage into 20% this or that. So we didn't worry about that. Let's go over to perks. Again, this is a 4-day beta. I haven't even played the 4th day yet. And I got to 9 on the hatchet and 8 on the bow. And I'll go through why I picked what and how I utilized it. So the first perk you get to pick is Berserk. So obviously, you use this one, you get more damage, lasts 12 seconds. In a nutshell. And you got higher movement speed. Easier to chase people down, you get the increased damage. Really nice. This one, you do like a lunge leap-in attack, and if you swipe your mouse towards them, like say they try and dodge, if you do it from a further enough distance, you can see it in my mashup video, or any of my past streams on New World. You'll almost like turn in mid-jump and still slash at them twice. This one's been really nice. This one's a little bit harder to use than Feral Rush, but it works pretty dang nice. Just a quick 4 swipes, and then you're in and out. I usually like to use that when I get up on somebody that's like hitting a tank. You'll see sometimes like Oath or Parallax in my past videos. They'll be standing there with their sword and shield backing up, and I'll run in behind, hit this ability, and I get boom, 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 4 swipes into them, and then I just start chaining right into my light attacks. And then you get to your modifiers. So now, Berserk gives me 20% movement speed while I'm in that. So 20% more movement speed while in this stance. And then the next one, while it's active, I get 30% of whatever my maximum hit points is every 4 seconds. So I get 30% of my maximum hit points 3 times within 12 seconds. Next one, increase base damage 10% for every enemy within 5 meters of you. So if you're fighting a group of 5 and you're all right in one spot, boom. 10% every player within 5 meters of me. So that's 50% more damage because I have 5 enemies within 5 meters of me. Pretty good. Next one I picked. Triggering Berserk removes all CC effects. Your stuns, your slows, your roots. That crazy stuff is annoying. This is super helpful. If you can get into a fight and save this Berserk until they start throwing out their abilities, and you get a CC thrown on you and you hit Berserk, boom. You come out of that thing so fast on those guys, because they're expecting you to get stunned instantly, right? You just pop right out of the sucker. So far, this is what I got in the beta, and it was working really, really great. And I would even go as far as going down here for my next one. That way, when I'm in Berserk, this ability, I can't be stunned or interrupted. So many times you get like stabbed by a spear and your Feral Rush will get negated, or your Raging Torrent will get negated, or maybe you'll get 2 of these 4 hits off and then they'll stun you. This will make it so it don't happen. And then obviously throw on the last ability. When you receive lethal damage, avoid death. For 3 seconds you got immortality. Pretty nice. Let's switch over to the bow. So now bow is a little bit different. In the closed beta, I used the musket. Now one thing I'll say about the bow is the mobility is super nice, the damage is just not as high as what the musket is, from what I saw on the closed beta. But I'll tell you what, the bow is sick. The bow is super nice, and I feel like even if I wanted to use the musket, I don't think I could get it to work as good in a build as I can with the bow. So for the bow, I didn't pick this evade shot because I didn't like how you could only leap backwards. Whenever you used this ability, it made you leap backwards. You couldn't do it side to side. So say somebody lined up on me with a musket and I use an evade shot, they'd still hit me. And sometimes like even like a swing of like a warhammer would still get you, like just barely hit you. Even if you timed it like just a little bit off, they'd still hit you. Like 5 meters isn't as far as what you would think. So what I picked instead, and this is key, after you dodge, deal 20% more damage for 5 seconds. And I'm going to show you how that looks and how that works here in a second. My next pick was the Rain of Arrows. And then the perk for Rain of Arrows that adds a bleed damage for 85% of my weapon damage over 12 seconds. The next one was Poison Shot, and I did both perks for that. The first one, it now does 12% weapon damage per second for 20 seconds. And then 200% more damage if I directly hit him. So we're going for a direct shot or like an area of effect shot. Because when you shoot this down next to somebody, it puts out a gas cloud for a couple seconds. 6 seconds. So anybody who runs through that gas cloud or is in that gas cloud when it first emits takes the poison damage for 20 seconds. And then we went over to the other tree and we took Penetrating Shot. Just for a quick shot to follow up or lead off with before our Poison Shot. Alright, so let's show you some of these abilities here. Alright guys, we made it to the homestead where we got one of the corrupted guys here. So I'm just going to kind of demonstrate some of the abilities I try to use. Think of this as a player that you're rolling up on, right? So you could either 1, lead up with your piercing shot, or 2, you could lead up with your poison shot. So if this dude's standing still, a poison shot, penetrating shot, and then try and shoot the rain of arrows to where he's running, and then boom, I switch right back to my hatchet. I clean that guy up, and we'll go to the next guy. Let's say we're going to lead off, and we're going to attack with just our hatchet. So we're coming up, here's another PvP guy, we're coming up from behind him here. I'm not going to lead off with my Berserk, I'm going to go in with this axe, and then I'm going to jump back, and now I have 2 options. I could use my bow, real quick, right off of that, get some more distance, and then use my raining arrows, or I'll show you another way too. We can go in, we can get close, like this. This is perfect. Let's say you got a guy right here, you got 2 guys on you, right? Let's lead him over here. You got 2 guys chasing you. You got a poison shot ready. You can go poison shot, shoot it right on the ground, go berserk, go right into your hatchet stuff, and then just go hog wild. The more damage you start throwing out, the better you've been doing. It's pretty, I don't want to say easy because it's not going to be easy for everybody, but that's the best way I found out for doing it. If you're going to lead off with the bow, go into either one, the piercing shot or the poison shot, and then right after that shoot the other one. And then hit the rain of arrows, and then switch to your hatchet and get ready for them to be rushing at you. If they start running, you can use your berserk to run after them. It's just try and get a feel for what you're doing if you're trying to use this build. Other than that, like I said at the beginning, I'm only level 17 and you can get to 60, so the build could change from here, but up until level 20, this would be a really, really good build. And again, I'm just using my faction board's armor and weapons right now. So I went to level 15, bought auction gear to fully kit myself out. Then I went and did the PvP faction missions with that gear, and then started collectively buying new gear to throw on my character to do PvP right now. And that's what I did. And that's it, guys. Pretty short video, but good one to throw out there, I think. And this can be used for any builds. So, if you didn't use the hatchet and bow, I hope you learned something. You can follow me on YouTube, where you're watching this right now. You can catch the streams on Twitch. If you want to see when my streams are, join the Discord. Go to the scheduling tab. That's where I post what I'm going to be streaming. I usually, for this September month, it's been a little scrambled since they added in the open beta and blah 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 blah. We don't know if it's going to be out yet at the 28th. We'll see, you know. But you can catch me on Twitch, you can catch me in the Discord, you can join Validus through the Discord links in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Be a friend, tell a friend. See you in the field, adventurers. Peace.